Hey guys, welcome to Thuile in the Italian Alps, where the fifth round of the UCI Thuile World Cup will take place in a couple days. The track was completely fresh last year, a brand new track. It has since bedded in quite a lot. However, I have heard that the Thuile Dig crew has cooked up some new sections for our races this year. So what we're going to do is walk down the track, check out those fresh sections, ask our racers how they're planning on approaching those fresh sections, and by the end of this video you should have a good idea of what the track for this 2026 Thuile race is going to look like. Thuile might be a very decisive race, as for the male, the three at the top, Asa, Finn and Amory, are starting to pull away in the overall. So this race may be a make or break for this season. A reminder that this series is still 100% self-funded at this stage, so if you're a brand that'd like to get involved in a season-long narrative, please get in touch. And if you're an individual that just enjoys watching my content, you can make some donations by clicking the link down in the description. Anyway guys, Thuile Track Walk 2026, let's go. So as you can see, the start hasn't changed. It's actually really steep into this flat gravelly corner, and there's a bunch of just high-speed flat corners which actually can be dangerous, especially early on in training when it hasn't bedded in yet and there's no ruts. You had a bit of a tumble a couple of weeks ago. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, so I had a little crash before qualifying in Leogang, and I was super sore for that race, like could barely ride. And then Lenzerheide, I was sort of trying to manage it, but we had a week off, so I've managed to get the body good. It's not perfect, like when I'm sleeping it's pretty sore, but luckily on the bike I'm all good, and yeah, glad to be riding free and enjoying it again.
Awesome. And what's the trick to that flat section at the start there?
Full gas. Like, it's for us downhill riders, I think it's like the perfect start gate because you don't even pedal. So yeah, just hold it wide and let it go.
Okay, so this jump looks like sweet fuck all on the live broadcast, but actually I rolled into it last year with the e-bike. I was like, actually fuck that. Also, I think towards the end of the first practice, there's like huge bomb holes in the landing. People were like losing hands. Wait, what's that? 14 meters to landing. You land there? All right. So Lockie's telling me over here. There?
No,
Further?
honestly.
What? That's 19 meters. I'm out of frame right now, but Lockie says 19 meters. Okay, so the main issue from this jump from last year is that this is nice now, but it does get bombed out, and people are actually landing, getting bucked and losing hands, and there's been crash there with riders just lose their hands and go and crash somewhere there, which is really not pretty at that speed. So they've redone the corners here. Pretty solid shaping job, but see how they evolve, because that dirt is pretty, like, it's not very hard. Unlike Lenzerheide, so there's a good chance this corner they're going to evolve pretty heavily. This was so bombed out last year, and now it's nice and fresh, but as I just said, the dirt's not really hard, so I think by race there it's going to be a mine, like, and then the riders are probably going to jump from that corner there and try to hit that as soon as possible. So this was actually a key section last year. You come in here like super fast on that off camber, and you can either go inside where a rut's going to develop, you can go full outside. Not really sure what the race line's going to be this year, but it's, some people were even going up there, but I don't think by race day it was possible because this gets super rutted. Kind of like a bit of a puzzling section from last year. How did you actually ended up negotiating that?
Well, actually last year I don't remember much from the whole race weekend. I was super sick last year, so I don't remember much from the race, to be honest. Everything felt like a bit of a passenger post, so I think I went low last year as well, just because to have a better exit. And I don't really like off-cambers that much, so the less off-camber I have to do, the better it is for me.
Ocean, top section before the woods, like, what are the real difficulties up here?
I would say overall speed is where your main objective. Just it's corner, just trying to keep the overall speed high and staying in that main line and not trying to run wide into the loose stuff in those first few fast corners, because that's where you're kind of going to mess up the next one. And yeah, just trying to keep the speed up and not make too many mistakes and get into a flow before we get into the real stuff down bottom.
So even through there, that
Yeah, through here it's just all about, I would say, trying not to overcook a corner and end up down here, and because it's such a small little rut and you can see a little sniper route as you're turning, so it's just about trying to execute it as well as possible and not making any mistakes to carry your speed across into the next section.
So after this first bit of like real technical section, there is a jump into the woods and then a steep section there which leads into, as Ocean said earlier, the real stuff, which gets steep and rooty and hard. Not that this is to be discounted by any means, but I guess once you get the main line, you can just let it go. So I believe they widened the entrance of this. You can see they've cut some tree here. It's actually very steep. And then he gets into there, and some of the athletes actually gap into that next root garden, which is mental. Last year you guys were, I'm pretty sure, gapping this.
Yeah.
How sketchy is that?
Oh, nah, it's all good. It's just, you just need to, I think last year that corner was a bit hard to like actually rail, so I think you just, if you're in that flow and just, it's all good.
What's the hardest part of this section?
I think just trying to keep the flow on, It's quite like, you have to really find your braking points properly and then accelerate out of all of these little corners and the little bus stops, whatever. Yeah, it's just trying to keep the flow, I reckon.
Otherwise you just get stuck at the bottom there, like just
Yeah,
losing all
trying to
your
pedal, and that sucks.
So Tuhoto mentioned being easy to gap in, but it's literally vertical gap into this and try to brake before hitting that.
I bet you the camera doesn't show it justice. It's like that steep.
It's very steep. Gets off this corner if you've made it, then it gets rough, and it is like berm that I remember last year was holding pretty blown. So some people were actually doing the inside line there, but I don't really know if that's the race line because there's a huge basically divot there that you have to gap. Laura's kind of key section from last year. What was your line? And you just said they did a bit of work and they did a good job. So what is your thoughts here?
So last year was like a bit more off camber, so it was the same, but there were no rut coming in. So at the race it was like hard to catch, like we were jumping in a bit and then trying to stay high. And now it's like more of a main line, let's say. It's just ridden more, and that's basically the same everywhere. Like it's been packed down with the weather since a year, so everything is a bit hard pack and easier, I'd say.
So you think it's going to run quicker this year?
Yes, because like last year was loose, everything was blowing up, so we were inside all the turns and everything was fresh, so it was like, yeah, obviously a bit harder. Now it's like the main line is just a bit packed and it's rolling better and it's just easier to push, I think.
And so how does that change your approach to riding that track?
I think last year was good because nobody knew the track. It was like evolving with us, so like the pace was slowly like building up and the track was destroying, so it was kind of a cool process. And now it's like from the get-go we're gonna be fast, and then it'll be sketchy, but it doesn't change anything. It's just we were in Lenza ride, so it's gonna be more downhill and slower pace, but still super fun.
Once again, a lot of work on this section, a nice berm which probably will blow out as the high riders hit that middle bit, and then a nice little toboggan / slide in English, I don't really know the word, but then that's going to get completely blown out as well because the riders are braking here and then the roots are going to come out. So it will be interesting to see if it turns into a gully or not. When there's quite a bit of change there, I'm pretty sure it was full of roots last year. How do you feel?
Wow, they've actually cut all the roots out by the looks.
How do you feel about cutting roots on the racetrack?
Well, in some places it is good, and then in other places I like to choose a line to avoid the roots or the holes. So I preferred, in some ways, the old style of not doing as much work on the tracks. But that is really soft in there, and that's going to develop a lot, so it's going to change a lot. And yeah, they've definitely cut a lot of roots out.
Do you think it's going to blow out?
The track's definitely going to blow out in places like this. Well, it's such a hard braking zone. It's so steep. It's going to be some holes there no matter what. So there'll probably be roots underneath the roots they cut out, and then they might have to cut those out too.
So last year's rider, we're coming in there. There's like an outside line there, and you can hit that berm pretty bloody hard. Or there's an inside line here. You can stay tight, go over that stump, well, rock, sorry, and then kind of go in there, and that saves a lot of time. But last year was pretty blown out. I'm pretty sure only Reese Wilson kind of choose that as its race line, and see how that berms hold as well, because if it doesn't hold, then the riders are going to have to go inside. Then get into that section. It looks like it's the same as last year. You can go outside or inside, but that does get rutted a lot. So see what lines actually develop before sending you onto the massive jump. Measuring that jump, it's pretty straight, I guess, but it's actually massive, especially from the side. What are you betting on? You're betting, man. How much? How are you betting?
In meters or freedom units?
Meters maybe. I don't know freedom units.
Meters? Nah, 17.
17. Where's the landing, Gloria?
No, they're gapping to inside.
15.5.
Did you say 12?
Yeah.
15.5 meters, which is 52 freedom units.
52. Are you mic'd up?
Yeah,
Where's the camera?
there. 52 freedom units in this guy.
Freedom units and 15 meters.
15 meters. Which is like, how fast they get in there? Like 35, 40 k an hour maybe? I'd say.
What you'd have to do is, now you know that, you'd have to do like some trigonometry and maths to see how fast in miles an hour they'd have to go. We'll put, like, divide it by 2.
Mate, do you know how much I had in my high school degree in maths?
No.
Like 4 out of 20. So
I don't know what
think,
that means.
yeah, that's not a lot. So you're gonna have to do the maths for me maybe.
No,
I'll send you the graph.
It's like, you just have to figure out the Pythagoras of the distance, but then they're going to pull a little bit. Terminal velocity divided by the speed. It's just like deceleration.
What are you doing here? What are you working in a lab or something?
I
Like,
got
do like
all
a
A
real
stars.
job?
I got all A stars in statistics and physics and further maths at A level. I failed photography and I failed film studies.
What?
And then ended up doing this shit.
The controversial topic, but the junior women will not be able to jump the big jump. Instead, they have to go into this lovely side track. It's lovely, isn't it? Yeah, see? Lina thinks it's lovely.
I'm excited.
As I don't even...
You watch it once and then it's gone.
So last year after the jump, we had kind of this off camber, and we had people like Loris coming in, just highlining and hitting that. But just chatted to Loris, and he said, because the berm is way nicer than last year, it kind of lost its interest. So I think mainline hit the berm is going to be the go. So that is the second road gap. It looks actually shorter. It's not that intimidating, but you come in with basically no speed from that corner there. And then, yeah, you kind of have to like pull and hit that berm really hard. Actually, it was pretty sick. There was a few Schwalper there last year. Float on the fastest French. Here you go.
Yes, here we are.
No, grab the bottom.
Sorry. Should we bet? Or
Yeah, bet. I'm betting 12 to landing.
12 to landing. I think the thing is it's pretty high. That's the thing, no? How should I go? Jump or what?
Yeah, go on.
Mais là, je peux pas jump. I can't jump, brother.
All terrain, that guy.
Okay, good?
Yes,
je vais
you're
jumper.
good.
I'm
Vas-y.
jumping again. Allez, just to make sure you're not gonna break your bike. Oh, putain. You should tell me, I can't see anything.
29 feet. 8.8 meters. It's
Not that
actually
big, eh?
it's actually pretty underwhelming.
Yeah, it's like too easy, I guess.
Yeah, so petition to make that jump bigger next year, I think.
Yeah, or jump it with 20-inch bike.
So only 20 or 32 front and back.
Or 32 front and back.
So then kind of come out of that huge corner, jump into this. It was pretty blown out last year. And then we get into that section where Jackson actually blew his tire before winning last year, which was mad. You've been a little absent of the last couple of races. Don't think I saw you around. Why did you pick La Thuile to make your comeback?
Just because it's a sick track. Like, I really liked this track last year, and when we were looking at the schedule, I was going to have a real busy kind of preseason with hardline and stuff. So I was going to miss a few races in the middle of the season, and we were trying to kind of figure out, I just kind of wanted to do my favorite tracks. So obviously it's hard to miss Leogang and some of those because I like those too, but I think just like how natural this track is, there's a little more separation with the riders, and I really liked it. I did pretty good here last year, even with like not very good run. So yeah, kind of just looking at the overall schedule, I'll be really busy now till the end of the year, like doing the rest of the races and the rest of the U.S. Nationals. So just kind of had a little breather in the middle, and now we'll be full on again. So it's good to be back, and the track looks good this year. Looks fast. Like, they've definitely kind of burned a few more things up, so it'll be the raw edits tomorrow will be all time.
And why do you think, have they changed this new section? You were just saying they've changed a couple bits there.
Yeah, I think it just kind of looks like they've taken a machine down the whole track, or in spots. Like, there's some really big G-outs up top, and it was a little more natural, and I feel like they've kind of flattened and smoothed some things out. So it'll definitely get really rough because it's still soft, but overall there's a little less going on, it looks like, than last year. Like, I think it's going to be a bit faster, and yeah, less to figure out. So I don't know. I kind of like when they leave it a little more natural, but at the same time, like, I really enjoy riding this kind of stuff too. So we'll see. Like I said, it'll explode apart pretty quick once it dries out, and then the lines will start to come out. But right now it's a bit of a freeway. It's going to be fast.
It's like they've opened this section there. You seem like you can take the high line here, which I don't think you could last year. I think that's changed a little bit. And they've redone those berms really nicely. It means you can hit that pretty hard. And Nico, can you just tell me how you think you need two of you, right?
Yeah, I was thinking that the track is about sick for sure, but needs and require a lot of eyes to see how it change and what would be the best line choices. So yeah, tricky one, but yeah, you want to ride it.
Why do you think here, not at the other tracks? Why is it different here?
Because there is many section where it's a bit wide and there is some outside, inside, and it's soft in some places. A bit more, yeah, because it's longer, steeper. I don't know. I had the feeling it will be, really important to have eyes on the track and be open eyes.
Okay, so this section here looks like they've opened that higher than it was last year. I can't remember them being able to go that high. So you can either go inside and hit that berm, or you can go full outside and come back, hit the berm, and that gives you more speed for that. Last year, this bit got really rough as well, because it would just dug in and then you'd hit those rock at full pace at the bottom of your compression. So I'm pretty sure there was some flat tires, because you land the bike compressors, you hit those rocks, no suspension left, all in the tires, flat tire. Amaury, first, how are you feeling into La Thuile? Is that track you like, considering you're pretty good in the overall right now?
Yeah, I think it's good to have a different track from what we have all season long. It's gonna be loamy, steep all the way. So yeah, it's good. Some good dirt on roots, some rocks. So excited about it.
And what do you think is the key to this section there? A bunch of corners, real tight, real steep.
Actually, it's pretty good. Like, berms are super clean, but last year it was destroyed, so you needed to cut some inside. So actually, outside looks really good, like super bike path. And then we'll see how it evolves. Don't really know if it's more packed from last year with a bit of rain, or if it's gonna blow up. I don't know. We'll see.
If it blows just inside everywhere.
Yeah, maybe. Like into the dust. It's gonna be, dry and hot the next days. So should be some sand dust maybe.
So it looks like the entrance of the rock garden, they've moved it pulled inwards a little bit, not allowing people to hit that stump basically, which I think was the line last year. Not really sure why they stopped that, but kind of stops you from being able to do that inside line. And it was actually real sketchy last year. They got really bombed out. Kind of bottom of the track, but key section from last year. How do you like approach that? 'Cause I remember there was quite a few like, you know, slide out, crashes, whatever.
Yeah. No, I think last year it was super fresh and really loose. And this year it looks more packed in and more of a main line. So I think that helps us a lot to sort of cut in a good line. But yeah, I think down here, especially is keeping your flow. I think you saw Jackson last year hopping a lot of things. Yeah, just hopping those routes and the bits that can tick you, and then yeah, just trying to keep a good speed through, not trying to stall or turn too much, just nice, smooth, and yeah, gapping those bad bits.
Smooth as fast.
Yeah.
So this shark fin looks like nothing on the broadcast, but it's actually pretty solid, especially at the end of like a race run where you're pretty cooked, and it's like actually pretty flat there, so not that easy to turn. Second last section before we get into the last finish ball. A lot of roots, sketchy corner, and Jackson basically jumped onto that rock last year to make it to the corner, and I think that afforded him to win with like a couple extra hundredths of a second that I don't think the other riders were doing. Last year Jackson gapped that rock up until there and landed like super fine, managed to corner, and yeah, that was one of the only ones to actually do this, because most people by race time we're going just low line. So see how that evolves this week. This section after, while underwhelming, is actually quite important because you get out of there and it's flat and there's actually a little uphill here. So if you're losing too much speed on that exit, or you get the corner before wrong, like you're actually losing so much time, because that's the only section of track that's flat. So the exit of the previous corner is actually imperative. Miriam, what's the key to that last section just there in the roots? You've been looking at it for quite a little
Yeah, I didn't ride last year, so I have no idea of where to go and which line to take. I mean, like, we have, I think, more than 3 minutes before, so to be around and to don't take the big holes and to be smooth is a key. But in the same time, you should not go too far, so yeah, tricky one.
How are you feeling about this track, knowing that you haven't ridden it last year?
I can't wait to see and test on the bike. I have no idea, but it looks cool. It looks like really proper mountain biking, and yeah, really looking forward to try.
So they did modify the last section, so instead of going straight in full pelt, the riders will have to do this off camber, climb up here in the grass. There's a couple like big bomb holes, and then corner again, which at the end of a run when you're pretty cooked, I'm guessing there'll be a rut, but it could be dangerous. All right, we can't get to that next jump because it's closed.
Well,
but Wen has some hot insights.
I don't think you'd be able to walk down it personally anyway, unless you had grippy shoes. But yeah, it looks pretty hectic, but if you roll off it with trail speed, you do land on the landing pretty nice, and then you're really bombing out. Maybe the fastest finish area, but at least there's a bit of space. And it looks smoother this year.
Is it not? I think Melee hits the fence last year in qualies.
It is hard to slow down if you want to go full speed through the actual timing beam. This is one thing on some tracks I think they could work on, is having maybe the finish lines a little bit up from the actual finish so the finish area is tall enough, or put a sick berm that everyone can shroud, so that you actually shroud a berm and then stop after the finish, because it would look sick. Throw some dust,
get some tires blowing,
and like, yeah, it doesn't matter if you blow your tire off, you can just go hard into it and then actually slow down. Whereas things like this, trying to slow down there, sometimes you can lock your front wheel if you hit like a little rock, and you can have a huge crash for no reason. So yeah. But the last feature, I think you've got it, Charlie. The e-bike's going to eat it up.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
End of track walk here in THUILE. It's steep, it's loose, it's a really long track. It's going to be really hard on the bikes and on the people riding the bikes. So we'll see how it evolves. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for training action, and on Friday for the qualifying video. See you soon.